Hello, Chapter Tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Fire Emblem 4 Genealogy of the Holy War with me, BlueAnkylo. Today's episode will probably have a fair bit of story, because we're starting a new chapter, and we're going to go over some cool new genealogy mechanics, and also on the left side of your screen are all kinds of new characters that we will assumedly recruit on the next chapter. I have looked ahead a little bit, so I sort of know some of the things. I think most of the characters are pretty easy to recruit in Chapter 1. There's one specific one that's a little tricky, but I'll talk about that when we get there. And there's a couple events specifically that the spoiler-free walkthrough kind of suggests for this chapter, but for the most part, this is mostly we'll figure it out as we go kind of chapter. We're not into the super complicated stuff just yet. Sigurd's capture of Evan's castle comes too late. Aideen is not there, instead already well within Verdane's borders. Verdane's territory is blanketed in a thick sweep of forest. The nation is widely dubbed a barbarian kingdom by Granvale's people, also known as the Kingdom of Axe Guys. I mean, it sort of makes sense. They got lots of trees, so they do a lot of logging. They've all got axes, but, you know, a Kingdom of Axe Guys, yay. Owing to their constant raids on Granvalian soil. Right, finish your sentence. However, the reign of King Batur has seen to an end of Verdane's infamous border raids. Except that they just attacked us. A pacifist King Batur has long worked to build a lasting peace with Granvale, while also keeping his aggressive sons a peace. He should just kill them. Ultimately, that's how Crusader Kings work. If you don't want war, if you want peace, but you've got an ambitious son that's got claims on your neighbors, you probably should just send them to a monastery or something. Ultimately, however, it was Batur himself who violated the peace he held so dear. Batur's 3 sons have unexpectedly launched an assault on Granvale. Kinbeth, the second son, Lord of Genoa. Gandalf, the eldest, Lord of Marfa. And Jamka, the youngest of the 3. Genoa is pretty nearby. Well, it's kind of down the coast. Marfa's kind of in the middle. Jamka doesn't get a house. Lurking deep within Verdane territory, the 3 now await the arrival of Sigurd. Aideen's fate. Batur's sudden belligerence. Sprawling before Sigurd lie the great forests of Verdane, and within them the answers he seeks. He prepares to take his first steps into the spirit forest of folklore. One thing I want to point out while you can see the map, Castle Evans is the castle that we ended the prologue on. And one thing that I really like about Genealogy of the Holy War is the world map isn't actually much different from the game map. So if you keep attention, like, I don't know if we'll be going to Genoa or not, but it should be a fair ways south of where we start and then to the east. So I really like how the game map kind of matches up to the world map, and it's not like super zoomed in, like you play on 1 pixel on the world map kind of thing. Anyway, he prepares to take his first steps into the spirit forest of folklore. Chapter 1. The Spirit Forest's Maiden. Oh, we're not going to be able to recruit Jamka. Don't even get any ideas. Or Spirit Forest Maidens. I know the character chart on the left will spoil things a tiny little bit. You're doing a fine job, soldier. I leave the border defenses to you. Good job, soldier. Sigurd, it's been a long time. Pray tell, why do I find you occupying Evans? You couldn't possibly be declaring war on Verdane, could you? Eldigan! Ah, I'm glad to see you. Listen, the Verdanites have abducted Lady Aideen of Jungbi and sacked half of our villages. They've made it amply clear that they don't plan on releasing her. Taking her back by force is our only option. Yeah, I mean, they did invade, and now that they're losing, they're running away. Nah, I see, that makes sense. Well, whatever you do, you cannot afford to leave Evans unattended. My fellow Augustrian lords have been a rancorous sort of late? Yeah, okay. I know. I'll ensure they don't threaten you from behind. Sorry to involve you in this as well. Say, Eldigan, once I'm done here, what do you say to a catch-up? So remember, who was it? Quan, our sister's, our brother-in-law, I suppose. He was talking about Eldigan, Sigurd, and Quan back at the academy or something being all bros. So I guess it makes sense that Eldigan would help a dude out. You, me, a fine bottle of wine, just like old times. I look forward to it. I trust I'll see you later then. May luck be with you this day, Sigurd. So we got a good triumvirate of super soldier paladins, basically. Hey, Genoa! South and to the east. Listen up, Ira. You know the deal. While I'm out, you guard the palace, right up to your very last breath. Remember, first sign of funny business and it's the brat's head. Ira, I'll be okay. Don't give in to these thugs. Don't let them boss you around. Shannon. Look, Kinbeth, you have my word so long as you leave Shannon alone. You'll have no trouble. But I do wonder, once the battle is over, do you actually plan to return him to me? You've got nothing to worry about. If we get Evans back, you get him back. I understand, but be warned, Kinbeth. If you break your promise, you'll deeply regret it. Cross me and I will pursue you to the very depths of the Infernal itself, till I take your head. Remember this well. Whoa, settle down there. I don't believe it. You're such a cute face, but you only use it to spew bile. I'm not about to make an enemy out of someone with a sword arm as fine as yours. All we've got are axes here. Your sword arm would kill us. Shannon, sit tight. Right. Shannon, sit tight. Be patient. I know she's got a very deep voice, but she's very mature. Be patient a little longer. Ira, no, don't go, no. Little boy. Thanks. Heh. Right, boys, we're moving out. Taking back Castle Evans. Alright, they got all kinds of axe boys. And one sword girl. Sigurd's phase. Okay. But we don't have any deployment screen. What's going on? So this is the bridge we crossed. You could sort of see where we came from in the previous chapter, which is awesome. Now we've got a big lake in the middle, like the map suggested, with a lot of forests around it. We've got... where's this? Let's just look at the map. Oh boy, big map. This game has huge maps. Alright, so we've got Genoa to the southeast. We've got a little village down here, and then a castle, Marfa. That's where one of the kids from Verdane. This is like the entire Kingdom of Verdane map, basically. Another little village down here. Verdane's capital castle, I suppose. And then I assume this is the ally to the... I forget the name of the country, but this is the neighbors to the northwest of Granvale. So we've got Verdane to the southwest. I forget the name of these guys up to the northwest. And then Verdane kind of in the east of where we are right now. So that's cool. A little road here, a little soldier dude, cross knight, guarding the road. And what else do we need to look at? I mean, that's the main thing. So we do need to find Aideen, who's been kidnapped by the Verdanese. Now, it's not Aideen that's in Genoa. Genoa has Ira and I don't know how he's related to her, but Shannon, the kid. I don't know if they're related or not. We'll find out. Anyway, Ira, mercenary, sword girl. She's got some pretty cool skills. Astra sounds fun. Nihil is okay, and Pursuit's always good. And I believe she's got some blood? Yeah, she's got minor Odo blood. I believe that's minor anyway. I think major is a bit flashier, so cool. We'll see about what we can do about recruiting her. Also, this is the first time we've seen an iron blade. So all the blade-type swords are A rank, and they weigh more for extra damage. But I don't believe they're as good as a silver sword. Like, an iron blade still doesn't match a silver sword. Also, lower hit rate. Probably not that impressive, all things considered. But she's very fast. We'll see about her recruitment and all that in a minute. So we have, like, the barbarians again, and also brigands. So I think it's safe to assume that this guy will go for this village, and this guy will go for this village. But this is a pretty long way away. We got a big forest to go through. Now, before we get any further in today's episode, let's have a look at Castle Evans. So everyone's just hanging out inside the castle, and there's actually more to do in here than you'd normally expect. So we got a town, so this is like deploy. Basically, unlike some Fire Emblems, you don't have to pick and choose your units. You can deploy everybody if you want, or you can leave them in the castle. But actually very cool, I like that. Guard, I believe, is what puts them into the map to defend the entrance, basically. And I think it's a game over if your castle gets seized. And at level 20, you can class change for free, no items. So it's pretty awesome. I don't remember... This might be like the fortune teller or something. Just things we haven't unlocked yet. So what's in the town? Oh, that's the fortune teller. So let's just have a quick tutorial here. Blacksmith can repair your weapons. So you can spend money to repair a steel sword, for instance, or the silver sword. I just want to see how much it costs. It doesn't say. It should tell you before you repair it. Well, point is you can repair weapons and armor, which is pretty cool. Or, not armor, but weapons and staves, I was trying to say. Weapons and magic. So the pawnbroker is going to be essentially how we trade items. So I, for instance, perhaps could sell Sigurd's steel sword and just focus on the silver sword, or I could give the silver sword to somebody else. And when I say give, I mean sell it and then have them buy it. So it will lose you money overall, but sometimes it might be worth to do it. I'm not sure. Now, this is also where you have the chance to find new items for people, and I forget, I mean, I haven't looked it up, but I believe there might be some new weapons at the pawn shop for some, I think is it like individual, or it's in the armory, right. So the armory adds new items every chapter, I think. So it's not like, I think typically they just have like a limited, like an endless, infinite stock of whatever they sell. Whereas I believe in this game, those are the 4 weapons for sale. You can buy them by whoever you want, but that's it. They don't get replaced. So there is just 1 steel axe, 1 javelin, 1 iron lance, and 1 slim sword. So we could buy them right now on whoever we want to buy them on, assuming we have some money. And, you know, that'd be interesting. And technically, like I said, you can move stuff around via the pawnbroker. So, the spare reserve. So this is, if I remember correctly, this is the per unit storage. So, rather than a convoy that shares items, you can deposit, like, we're looking at Arden right now. So we could deposit his sword. I don't think it costs money, I believe. And then he can just withdraw it later. Basically, if you've got one person with too many items, you can store something temporarily. But you can't trade it between units. So, repair, sell, or buy to the pool where people can buy from later. Like, you can actually trade items around. For instance, with Sigurd, let me just sort of demonstrate. I'm not going to do it, but just to demonstrate. He's the guy that has a speed ring right now. If we wanted to move the speed ring to someone else, you would have to sell it here for 10,000 gold. So he would get 10,000 gold. So he'd be up to 20k. But then someone else would have to have 20k to buy it, because it'll cost twice as much. So once we have a ton of money, theoretically, we can move stuff around like that. And then on the bottom, there's an arena. So we're going to do that shortly. And there's an augury. Let's just see what this says. Let's look at the records. So this shows you, for each character, how many kills and... I'm not sure how losses work. Because if you're dead, you're dead, but... I mean, I don't know. And theoretically, it will tell you about your romance options with people. Which will be useful. I'm not going to dig into pairings too much in Chapter 1. Probably at the beginning of Chapter 2, we'll talk about who I'm going to try to pair up with who. But for now, it's still pretty early. Although I have a bit of a plan already. And then the armory, yeah, that's where we buy stuff. So, the slim sword is perhaps a good idea for someone who doesn't have a sword or a lighter sword. The slim sword doesn't do very much damage, though. So it's like, I guess what you might do is, assuming we recruit Ira, we might want to give her a lighter sword. It'll do less damage. I mean, she might need this. I guess, I don't know when the slim sword's very good. Like, there's some decisions here because it's a little bit hard to get weapons on anybody. One thing that is notable is that Noishe... Oops, not the button I wanted to press. Noishe has a B rank in swords and a C rank in lances. So I could get him a lance, and that gives these guys, the Cavaliers, kind of a better weapon triangle. By having 2 different weapon types, then you can switch depending on what you're fighting. Now, I think in this map, it's still going to be mostly axe guys, but eventually you probably want your Cavs to have some sort of sword and lance. Unfortunately, with the C lances, we're never going to get anything super good. And then Alec, by the same token. Now, he, I think, might be a good target for getting a steel sword, because a steel sword is a B rank sword, and he could definitely use the extra damage from it. So I'll probably transfer Sigurd's steel sword down to Alec, and then we'll have a spare iron sword. Now, you could also move it over to Arden, I think, because he can use steel swords, but Arden is also kind of bad, so I don't know about that. Lex can only use axes, so he's kind of looking for a steel axe. They'll have the same weight, but the steel axe will do more damage, so that's kind of nice. He's also looking for a hand axe to get him his range 2 attack. Similarly, the Cavaliers could get a javelin, assuming it's C rank javelin, I think, and then they can get the 1-2 range. Quan already has a javelin, but he's only good with lances, so he's basically got... Theoretically, he'd like to get like a silver lance or something, but for now, steel and javelin's pretty good. Can't get much better than that. We could actually trade the steel lance. Like, he's got a lot of strength, so I could see giving him an iron lance with a little bit less might, and he'd still be pretty good with that. And then you could give the steel lance to somebody else. But the steel lance is a B weapon, so that means Noishe and Alec could not use it. So we'd only be able to trade it to... Well, I guess Sigurd probably has a B. He could use a steel lance, but it's not necessary, really, because he's got a silver sword. But what I was thinking was Finn, theoretically. He could use a better lance. So moving the steel lance over to him, trading the iron lance back to Quan. It'll make Quan a bit weaker, but it would make Finn better. I don't know if that's worth it exactly. I'm just, like, that's an option. And then Alec, like I said, could definitely use a steel sword, a javelin. Maybe nice to get him an iron lance at some point, just so he has options for weapon triangles. Midir could use a better bow, but that's about all he could use. And Ethlyn, she has a slim sword as well. She could actually, this would be hilarious. You could give her the silver sword, and suddenly she'd have a very high damage sword. But there's the stats on the slim sword. You know, it's actually not that bad. Very, very low weight, so it's really good for speed. And 8 might and 90 hit. Let me just compare that to an iron sword here on... Alec's the one with the iron sword. So the slim sword is actually a straight upgrade, isn't it? 80 hit, 6 might, 3 weight. Yeah, there's no downside. Slim is 100% better than iron. Now, if you're comparing it to steel, 98 and 1 probably doesn't compare as favorably to a steel sword. Yeah, so now we're trading a little bit of hit rate and weight for a little bit more might. Oh, yeah, that was a sword. I wasn't looking at all the lance. So basically, 2 might for 2 weight and 10 hit. Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. And it is a C rank, so anyone could use the slim sword. So actually... Like, basically what I'm thinking is Alec could go for a steel sword or a slim sword to give him some sort of upgrade. And no one else really needs swords other than, like, Arden. Or we could move the silver sword around. But, I mean, I'm not too worried about that. I think I'll probably just move the steel sword down to Alec. Although we can buy... I mean, sorry. This is a lot of micromanagement. It's just the nature of this kind of game. We do have a slim sword we can buy. So that's there. And we got an iron lance, javelin. So we can buy 1 javelin for one of the calves. And 1 iron lance for one of our calves as well. So for instance, we could give maybe Alec, because he's a bit more doubly. He could get an iron lance. And then we could give the javelin to Noishe, and then they'd both have a lance option. We could trade a steel sword around and buy a slim sword for someone. Also, the steel axe, I think, is probably destined for Lex. Although, actually, I mean, it is an upgrade, but there's a spoiler that technically he's going to get a better axe in this chapter anyway for free. It's a bit of a secret, but we don't actually need to buy him a steel axe. So is there anybody else that can even use axes right now? No. We don't really get axe guys much, do we? I don't think anybody here can use that except Lex. So, oops, wrong button. Also, it is important to note how much money you have. Like, it's all these options about buying weapons and stuff. They don't really count if you can't afford them, basically. So, yeah, Noishe, probably a javelin. Now, it'd also be nice, like, it would be Noishe to give Finn a javelin as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to trade his lance up to an iron lance just yet. Because we're still on a... Like, I might do that eventually, because I don't think Quan needs it as badly. I could also just transfer his javelin down to one of the other calves. I don't know. I'm undecided. That's the trouble, is it's a little bit difficult transferring stuff around in this game. I think... Because I think it's sort of canonical, I'm going to leave the silver sword on Sigurd, even though there are a couple people who could use it quite well. But he doesn't really need two swords that are the same weight class. So I'm definitely going to show off how selling to the pawnbroker works here. So we're going to sell the steel sword. So we sold it for 300. And then we switch characters. This is actually a fair bit of micro. It's a bit of a pain for sure. And then we send Alec in. And we can buy it for 600. So you sell it for half price. Now, also, because it's damaged... Also, I mean, like... Is there any reason for him to hold on to the iron sword now? Not really. So I guess we could get rid of the iron sword. I don't know if there's anyone I would want to transfer it to, really, but... It's just taking up an inventory slot, and I don't think I'll ever use it, so we'll just get rid of that. But while we're here, we could also repair it, right? So the steel sword is down to 10 uses left. So it's not cheap, but... I mean, this is kind of how you play the game. You can't just buy brand new swords, generally, so... Anyway, that's a fully upgraded steel sword. Or fully repaired steel sword. So I don't know if that's going to make the biggest of differences, but we just got him an extra 4 damage. I could have bought him the slim sword, which... I don't know if that would have been better, really. Now, these things, they do keep track of kills, right? So because this was Sigurd's old sword, it has 14 kills on it. And I did look it up between the introduction video and here. It doesn't grant you any critical rate until after 50 kills. And then it still keeps track of it. And I believe every kill between 50 and 100 adds to your critical hit rate. And then you kind of get the critical skill for free once you get past 50. So if you use a sword or any weapon a lot, it actually becomes really, really strong. Like, there's kind of some value to just sticking to one weapon for a long time. I kind of want to buy Finn a javelin, even though it would be nice to have these guys have options. But Finn, because he's at weapon triangle disadvantage, I think he needs the range just so that I can keep him a little bit safer, or else on an axe level, there's just not much he's going to be able to do. Like, he'll be able to kill archers, but not much else. Yeah, I think I've settled on this one. Get him a javelin. It's really heavy, too, unfortunately. So, stat-wise, unfortunately, like, Finn has Pursuit, which is pretty awesome. But with 10 base speed and then 18 weight, he's at -8 attack speed if I switch to the javelin. Which is still good in some situations. It's obviously the range 1-2 is nice, but I think he's still going to be primarily an Iron Lancer, maybe a Steel Lancer if I bother moving that over from Quan, although I'm not going to do that right now. And then I still think I'm going to buy an Iron Lance for either Noishe or Alec. What do we think? Who would get the most use out of an Iron Lance? On this map, it's probably not very useful. 3,200. He already wasted some money. Maybe I'll just give it to Noishe because he's got more money right now. No specific reason. I think they'd both like to have a lance option, but for now, I'll just give it to Noishe. It's not very expensive. I'm not going to buy the steel axe, and then the slim sword I don't really have a good use for either right now. The only person right now that would be an upgrade for is Arden, and then if you had a steel sword but you wanted a little bit more speed at the exchange of a little bit of might, it's probably not a great option. I feel like Alec needs as much damage as he can get, because he can double most axe guys anyway, And the Slim Sword's not really for him. It's probably more meant for our Myrmidon once we recruit her. Okay, so that's enough messing around with all that mumbo-jumbo. What about the exciting arena? That's what you really want to see. So, every character can do, I think it's 7 arena levels per chapter. And it doesn't cost money to play. It's actually really different compared to modern arenas, like modern Fire Emblem arenas. This is like the closest thing to grinding we're going to do, and it seems to be kind of expected in the game. Like, I don't know if it's, well, I'm sure it's not mandatory, but I think it is kind of by design that you clear the arena with as many characters as you can, because it's just a one-shot. Like, just to explain it, it's not like a Fire Emblem Game Boy Advanced arena, like a 5, 6, 7, or 8. Where you can go to the arena, bet some money, win or lose. If you win, you double. If you lose your money. If you die, you're dead forever. It's not like that. There's no permadeath. There's no entry fee. You just make money if you win. But you also can't repeat it. It's like you go through different tiers, 1 through 7. Each one has a different enemy, and if you win, you move to the next tier kind of thing. So let's just go with it. I'm fairly certain, from what I understand, that Sigurd will be fine, especially with a silver sword. So we'll use him to kind of get a feel for the arena before we see who else we can send in. And it should also give us a fair bit of experience, so let's get going. So today's episode will probably have a lot of arena-ing before we send people out of the 100 hit versus 0 hit. Good start. Before we send people out to fight the Verdane army, we'll do a little bit of arena-ing first. Alright, speed and defense. I don't think Sigurd has got any strength at all so far, but he's been getting a lot of defense, so. So 1,000 gold. That's worth the use of the silver sword, no doubt about it. Alright, rank 2 is going to be a little bit harder. It's a level 4 mage. Oh, and also, you get fully healed between arena battles, which is also different for, I think it's specifically if you win, you get fully healed. If you lose, I believe you just come out at 1 HP, so. There's some uses for that, but, oh, I should actually have a look. I could have switched over to the Iron Lance here so we didn't lose weapon advantage, but I'm pretty sure the Silver Sword will be fine, yeah. Now, we are technically using up durability on our Silver Sword, and it's pretty expensive to repair. So you might be thinking, well, economically speaking, you should use the weakest weapon that will win for the arena. But I also don't think money's going to be that tight that I need to worry about that so much. Like, again, we could switch to a lance here. I mean, I'll do it just for fun, because it'll give us weapon triangle advantage, but we're still losing out on attack speed and might. Like, it's not really... This is probably a worse option. It's fine. I don't think we'll lose, but this might lower our speed enough that we're not doubling, for instance. But it'll keep our hit rate and avoid rate kind of maximized. And it's cheaper to repair, yeah. So, unfortunately, this actually gave the enemy doubling on us. But as long as we win, it didn't really cost us anything, and it made our repair costs a little bit lower. So, I don't know. As far as I know, also, you don't get, like, weapon experience. Like, you don't get kills in the arena because you're not killing people. So it doesn't really stack up the weapon XP. Now, Steel Axe, probably smarter to use the sword here anyway. But yeah, I mean, Sigurd is kind of overpowered, so him breezing through the arena is pretty much to be expected. Oh, and as well for arena strategies, everybody gets an additional 20 avoid in the arena, and all the enemies have 0 luck. So, if that matters, 0 luck on enemies and more avoid for both you and the enemy. So, the arena just has kind of a high avoid. Now, Sigurd, really, you're not getting any strength. This is kind of confusing. He's getting a ton of defense, so he's going to be really survivable, but I would like to see some offensive stats going up. So, Emil the Wind Mage. We're getting into the kind of stronger enemies now. Ooh, only a 54 to hit. We could lose this if we get really unlucky. We need to get hit twice. Yeah, we could lose any round here. So unfortunately, Sigurd died to Emil the Wind Mage. That's kind of unfortunate. I think the odds were in our favor there, because we needed to hit him twice, he needed to hit us twice, but it was 57% to 37%. So that should have gone our way. Now, one thing that's neat is you can go back in right away. Now, we are sort of using our silver sword up, which is dangerous, and we're not making any money. The problem is, this time, we start with 1 HP. So now we can't get hit at all. But we still only need to hit him twice. So theoretically, we still have a reasonably good chance of winning. Because technically, we could hit, dodge, hit, and win in 2 rounds. And there you go, we won. So now you get to see how Sigurd's so strong, basically. Alright, we'll keep going. I think we're almost at the end here. This might be the last one. So we're going to stick with our steel blade now, because, or our silver blade, or silver sword, because it can do the most damage. And generals tend to have a lot of defense. Although, I think if we equipped a lance, he might have had 0 hit rate. Which is kind of funny. It would take longer. Oh, there's that Pavice, the guard skill for generals. Alright, so Sigurd cleared all that without too much trouble. He did have 1 death, but I don't think that counts against him. You know what? We'll check the augury after this. Hey, some strength. Thank you, Sigurd. So he's got... That was a better level up. I like that. And that was it. 4,000 extra gold. So we went from around 10,000 gold to 28,000 gold. So he made a profit of 18,000. Although, keep in mind that we did use a lot of silver sword charges. So... Oh, it really doesn't tell you the cost until you do it. It's kind of... Or, did it? I just wasn't paying attention. Anyway, I think it cost us about 2,000 gold to repair the silver sword. Still, a pretty good deal. Yeah, it says it on the right. 47 charges, and then the cost to repair is the right number. I'm just blind. So we paid a couple $1,000s to repair the silver sword. But overall, we got a couple level ups, like 3 level ups. We gained, like, 15,000 gold and a little bit of change. And that repaired the sword. So I feel like that's a totally good deal. And if we check the augury records, I don't think those count as kills or deaths. Yeah, that's what it said before we went to the arena. So, Sigurd cleared the arena, no big problems. Pretty awesome. And now he's level 11, bit better stats. And you can see there the arena level is a star, that means it's cleared. So he can't go back in, at least I don't believe he can. Sorry, mate, ain't anyone left here for you to fight. But, because he's cleared it doesn't mean everyone else has cleared it. So there's still lots of people to go through the arena. And I mean, like I said, today's episode is probably going to be mostly just messing around in town, so that's just how this is going to go. Now, he's the only one that I think will have a very easy time in the arena. One thing you could do is try to trade around the silver sword to other people so that they have a better chance of winning. I don't know how far people like Noishe or Alec will get. I think Quan might get a fair ways because he's pretty strong. So let's do Quan next just to see how he does. Now, I don't know, like, I'm not really planning on doing a lot of save scumming. But, like, I really don't know the enemy stats very well, because, I mean, this is my first time playing it. So I don't really know how good odds anybody has. Like, if it's worth it to do this or not. Like, it might not even be worth my time for some characters, and they're just going to lose and have 1 HP, so then I'll have to heal them up before we can go to the actual chapter, the actual game. Mind you, I'm pretty sure Quan will be fine for a while. So we'll just watch along for a little while, see how this goes. Nice fighting, mate. Have some money. And you can quit out once you see the enemy. So, like, if you see something you're like, there's no way I'm going to survive, I think you can quit. I also think you can cancel the arena fight if you press B, I believe, while you're in the middle of a battle. But it just like the other Fire Emblems, it waits till the end of the round. So you can't just attack once and then quit out. You have to wait till the full round of combat's over, which means enemy counterattack or follow-up attack, and then you'll get out. I believe. So far, I would say the first 3 rounds, there's nothing for Quan to worry about. Although he's not getting very much experience, so it's not as valuable, but hey, money's money, right? I believe this is the best way to get money, assuming your character's strong enough. Alright, so that time you got to see an enemy that had more speed. They actually got first, and they got their double attack. And they didn't even miss a single time. But Quan had pretty good odds to win again, I think. And he got a little bit of speed and magic. But speed and defense are probably what he needs, because he's got a lot of strength and not a lot of speed, so that's fine. Good level up. Rank 5, Steel Axe. Now, he might have some problem with this guy because of his hit rate. There's nothing I can really do. There's no better lances available right now, and he can't equip anything else. So I don't know how he'll do here. We can do some math on the fly. Oh, he doubles. Oh, never mind. Quan's totally fine. Right, axe guys tend to be really slow, so he gets the double. That gives him a pretty easy win. I figured the axe would be the most dangerous one for him, so... Now, the Wind Mage does not have Pursuit. It doesn't have doubling. It just makes it harder to double them, because he's got high speed himself. And Wind is the lightest of the tomes, so I doubt very many people will be doubling the Mage. Alright, this one's going to be a bit rough. 50-50 odds, hey? We have to hit him twice. He kills with 2 hits, we kill with 2 hits. Same part that Sigurd got stuck on, hey? I wonder if we can win this with RNG. I mean, we only need 2 hits. We need to dodge, theoretically, 1 at 75 and hit 2 at 50. Or dodge 2 at 75 and hit 1 out of 3 at 50. Oh no, he goes first. It's worse than that. We have to dodge. This is actually not super likely. I think we can cheese it, which is probably what I'll be doing. Super strats from BlueAnkylo is cheesing it. Because... Oh, we do double. Okay, I forgot about that. Okay, yeah, it was really just a matter of time until we got 2 lucky dodges. That was not a... That's been our worst odds so far by a fair stretch. Strength and defense, though, I'll take. I still haven't used the fast forward button, so you can't complain too much. Alright, let's see if Quan can finish this up. I think he should be fine against the general. He should also double. And he should... Oh, maybe no doubles. Okay. Or was it not Pursuit? It was just Adept that got him, maybe. Maybe we had a lucky Adept streak. I forget what skill Quan has. But that looks like the general was a guaranteed win, pretty much. Would have been pretty hard to lose that fight. Anyway, Quan, not too bad. He had a little bit more trouble than Sigurd, but overall, I'm happy with that. In terms of weapon durability, we can spend a bit of money to fix it. I still might trade it over. I think... I don't know if you save much money by repairing it and then selling it, or selling it and then repairing it, but anyway. I guess if you repair it first, you kind of... Nah, it'd probably work out math-wise to be about the same total expense. Just different people's money. So he's got a lot of money now, thanks to his full arena clear, and he got just like the 2 level ups, not a whole lot. Sigurd seems to level up a little bit quicker, maybe. I don't know. I don't know for sure how the experience formulas work. It seemed like Sigurd got a lot of experience, even though he's at a higher level. Alright, well, who else do we think could survive? Those were clearly our 2 best odds. I'll put another save state down just because. I think you can use, like, in-game saves, too, if you care. Yeah. There's no reason you couldn't do the same thing with save states, except with an in-game save. Like, that's why I don't feel too bad about using saves and loads on this game. Although we haven't loaded yet, even once, but I feel like it's sort of built in, and the chapters are really long. Unlike a lot of Fire Emblems where one map is, like, reasonably beaten in 30 to 60 minutes. These maps are multi-hours. They're meant for you to stop and restart halfway through, or, well, if something goes terribly wrong, reset, I suppose. Let's try with Alec. I don't think he's going to make it all the way, but we'll have some testing here, basically. Oh, wrong one. What am I doing? Now, I did give him a better sword, so we'll see how this works. He'll be at a real disadvantage against the lance guy, though. But I'm sure he'll win the first couple rounds, I think. Yeah, so he gets his pursuit attack. That's pretty awesome. As long as he outspeeds the enemy, he should do quite well. I think he'll be okay against the first mage. It's the wind mage that's scary. The fire mage's not so bad. So after we've done a few arenas, I will probably start using a little bit of double speed or triple speed just to go a little quicker, because this is going to take a long time. But, I mean, especially our first time in the arena, I feel like going through it normally is fair. Now, I'm not sure if we'll win this fight. Maybe this is where we'll need to trade over a lance for like an Iron Lance. We'll see. We'll see. We might need a better weapon to win this, but we'll see. Assuming we double, we should be okay. Oh yeah, no problem at all. Look at that. That was like actually really smooth. What was I worried about? So that means strength up. That's, you know what? Even with just HP strength, that's really what I want to see on Alec. I'm pretty happy with that. So the next round's like an axe guy, I think. Oh, sword guy. This might be tricky too. Another one where a lance would be nice. I think this guy doubles most people, so we'll see who... Yeah, he goes first. Alright, that's going to be tricky. With the lance advantage, if I had a lance on him, he would have... Theoretically, the enemy would have lower accuracy. As well, it's hard because the attack speed drop does affect your hit rate and dodge rate by the difference in... Like, a sword only weighs 3, a lance weighs like 12 or something. So you'd lose out on your hit and avoid from that, but then you'd get the weapon triangle advantage. And I think the Iron Lance does more damage than a steel sword, so it would give us a bit of a benefit. I have a feeling he's not going to win this one at his current strength. Maybe with a different weapon, specifically an Iron Lance, maybe. I should look at the stats on the Iron Lance to see if it maths out, but because this guy goes first and he doubles us... I mean, I'll try a couple times on slightly fast-forwarded. We have to dodge, like, at least 3 hits just to get a second attack. Wait, see, we do 22 minus 8. So we do 22 minus 8 is 14. So we do 14 damage if we ever get a chance to hit him. I just need to see how many times I have to hit him, basically. And then I'll know if this is possible. Oh, we have to hit him... 14, 28. So we have to hit him 3 times. He's going to get 1 attack, and then we get a chance. And then he's going to get 2 attacks, then we get a chance. He's going to get 2 more attacks. So we'd have to dodge at 1 HP. We'd have to dodge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hits, and we'd have to hit 3 out of 3. I don't think that's going to be very likely. I mean, we'll do one more try for fun, but I don't think this is really going to be possible. We would have to hit 3 hits at 60% and dodge 5 hits at 67. There's no way. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Maybe with a different weapon, but not like that. So the trouble is, because I didn't know that that fight would be, like, impossible, now Alec's at 1 HP. And basically, we could leave him in the castle to heal slowly, or we could use Ethlyn to heal him up a little bit over a couple turns. That's fine. But I think what I'll... Well, am I going to reload just for that? I don't know. I haven't decided. I guess I won't. I mean, it's fair, right? It's just, I guess the point is I'm not in a super rush to win this map. If you were trying to do like a low turn run, you'd want to arena as much as you can, but still leave with basically full HP on turn 1. You wouldn't want to wait around a couple turns to heal up or anything. But I think we'll be okay. I'm not going to worry too much. Although I'm thinking about it. I don't really want, like, my entire army to be leaving here at 1 HP, so... I think with some people, like, maybe we'll allow Alec to be low HP, but for some of these other guys, I might not even try the Myrmidon arena, or if I do try it, I'll save first. We're fighting... What are we fighting first? Axe guy, yeah. So Noishe doesn't get the pursuit doubling, but sometimes he will get an adept double, I think. Or, no, he doesn't have adept. He has pursuit, which doesn't matter. So all he can do is critical, right? We might get a critical, you never know. So he can take 2 hits without dying. Oh, there's the crit. Ooh, first crit of the game, I think. First player crit of the game, anyway. We had a cutscene crit. Oh, I should have switched to Lance for this one. Come on, Noishe. Don't make me regret it. Good job. That was a little bit of a risky one. I think we had a relatively high odds of losing that fight. But as long as you win, you get the heal. Now, this is the one where we might lose. I'm gonna do a save state. Just, I want to see if the odds are even possible, basically. I should have switched to the Lance. It's the same thing as Noishe, or Alec, I think. Let me just see if it looks any better with the Iron Lance. I have a feeling this is still going to be impossible, though. So we can do 15 damage. We still have to hit him 3 times. And he's doubling us. Yeah, there's... Unfortunately, I guess, like, I don't know exactly what the difference is, but Alec and Noishe just don't hit hard enough. Or they're just not fast enough. They don't hit hard enough to beat that Myrmidon right now. So it looks like Quan and Sigurd are possibly the only people that are going to get past whatever tier that was, level 4. That's okay. It's a little bit unfortunate. I mean, we can try again before we get to the end of the chapter. If we get better weapons or some level ups, we might have a chance to get past level 4. But that might just be as far as they can get. Lex, though. Lex seems good. What's he got, just for interest's sake? Vantage, Paragon. Neither of these will help him win, but the Paragon will help him level up nicely, so... I kind of have a feeling that most people that aren't promoted are just going to get to round 4. And that'll be as far as they can get. In fact... Lex with an axe will just get wrecked by the Myrmidon with the doubling sword. But I would assume we'll get that far again. Hopefully you guys don't mind a little bit of reloading on testing out these battles, because I'm sure expert, like, experienced veterans just know, they would be like, Blue, there's no way Alec is ever beating that Myrmidon. You shouldn't even bother, because he just doesn't have the stats for it. Alright, we can take 2 hits, but we cannot take 3 hits. So, again, there would have been a chance to lose that fight, but I think because he went first, I think Lex had pretty good odds on that fight still. He might lose it once in a while, but I think generally that would be a win. This should be safe. He's actually outspeeded here because the axe weighs him down, but I think that's also a guaranteed win with his 100 hit. And a level up. Maybe that'll get us through the Myrmidon. Ha 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 ha. Strength. I mean, strength is good, but... So, I'll test it out again, but I'm almost positive now that I've learned that this is just... Not very many people are going to be beating Tiburon. Yeah, I mean, look at this. There's no way. We can do 17 damage. We need to hit him 3 times. He can kill us. Well, he had a little bit more defense on Lex, but still, there's just no way. Alright. That was just for science. That didn't count. Alright, that counts. Everyone... Did I do Finn? No, we didn't do Finn yet. Alright, Finn... I think he'll get just as far. Unless he gets bodied hard by the axe guy early on. He should be okay. Again, I don't want to have to heal up everybody for impossible fights, so we'll just see how this goes. I think he'll still beat a level 1 axe guy. But this is probably his worst pair-up for a while. Okay. Come on, math. There we go. I think he still should have won with his doubling with Pursuit, but obviously there was a chance to lose there. Alright, but he should have an easy couple fights now. He might have the best chance at beating the Myrmidon of the unpromoted Cavaliers. I wonder if equipping the Slim Sword on someone would have helped. If I knew the exact speed of... Ooh, skill strength, that's pretty good. If I knew the exact speed stat on the level 4 Myrmidon, I might be able to calculate whether or not we can stop the doubling. And if we could get away from the doubling, then we'd have... I think we'd have some chance. I could move the speed ring to somebody. That would probably win it, too. Like, I bet you Finn... If he had the speed ring and was... Assuming the speed ring was enough, with the weapon triangle advantage and a speed ring, if he wasn't getting doubled, maybe that would be enough to beat that thief. What are we up to now? Oh, this is the one where he's probably stuck. Well, I would like some more money on Finn, so we're going to try. He's kind of poor. So he's still outsped. At least he has some dodge, but I mean, look at this. It's just, I don't know. I think he has better odds than the other guys, but it's still going to be tiny. Like, I'll try a couple times. Yeah, but I mean, like, at full health, he'd have some chance. But at 1 health, I don't think he's got... I mean, I could do the math, I suppose. 61% with doubles. He can do 14 damage. 14, 28, 42. So it's nice that he's just at the point where he can kill the Myrmidon in 3 hits if he ever gets 3 hits. But his chance to get 3 hits is very, very small. 78% accuracy. You might say he could get 3 in a row, but he would still have to dodge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he'd have to dodge 5 hits and hit 3 in a row. Now, if he was at full health, which he was like at the very beginning, I don't think this will actually change the RNG seed, but just to compare it, the enemy has to hit him 3 times. But they get those doubles. So, at full health, I would say he has some chance if you tried every turn with different RNG, but that's still pretty unlikely. The Myrmidon is just too fast for everybody here, so that's too bad. So Finn didn't get very far. He got 1 level up, and unfortunately his pursuit is useless on someone that outspeeds him. If there was a slim lance that didn't weigh so much, that might be enough to do it as well. But I mean, there's none for sale. I don't know if those even exist in this game. Alright, well, who else? We could try Ethlyn, we can try Midir, we can try Azel. We're through most of the team at this point. We'll just, honestly, this episode we'll just finish up the arena and then we'll probably move along. I guess Midir is the next chance. I mean, I don't know. I think he can probably clear the first couple levels. Oh, we might see some different enemies too, because we've got a ranged weapon. So everyone that fights him will use like a hand axe or a bow kind of thing. I don't know for sure how far Midir can get, but I'd say, you know, he's not bad at combat. If that's pursuit rather than adept, then yeah, he can get quite a lot of attacks in. I just forget all of his skills. Hurry up and switch to Midir on the side there so I can figure it out. Defense, I mean, he's had like pretty bad level up so far. That's not helping his case. He had a level up with 0 stats, and 1 defense is not going to fix him. Luckily, he has enough HP to survive 2 hits from the mage, although it wasn't necessary. But oh, there he is. So he's got Pursuit and Charge. So Pursuit's good. Charge doesn't affect the arena. You can see his growth rates there, too. I'm going to start saving here because I don't want to have to heal him up if he loses, but I just want to see if he's got a chance. I think he's got a chance to win if he can stop sucking. He's not doing very much damage, though. We need to stop missing these 72s. Need a dodge and 2 hits. Come on, Midir. Okay, don't miss. Alright, that was good. That was some little bit of luck there on our side. Now for the big roadblock. Tier 4, what do we get? I'm assuming this won't be a Myrmidon, because a Myrmidon can't attack at range. So we get Hood, the Hunter, instead. Maybe this will be easier, rather than the super speedy sword guy. Alright. Well, 50%. We have a chance here. We're not doubling, though. We need to stop missing these 60s. Wow. At least we can survive 2 hits, but this guy's pretty tanky. So, we can do 11 damage per hit. This is unfortunate. It's always this level 4 is too much. Let's just do a little bit of math here in my head. So, we have a 60% chance to hit to do 11 damage. We need to hit him 5 times, unfortunately. If we had ever gotten a single point of strength, we could kill him in 4 rather than 5. But we never got any strength. If we had a better bow, it would help a lot. I think a better bow would actually make this a lot easier. But there aren't any for sale. And he is faster than us, so he strikes first. He might have a chance here. We'll try it for a little while, but it's... He has to dodge like 4 or 5 50-50s. and hit all of his 60s. And it's not even close so far. Like, we've never hit him twice, even at 1 HP. I think at full HP, he might have had a reasonably good chance. But at 1 HP, there's just no way, I don't think. Well, you know, I think it's technically possible. How many times do you want me to try, though? Like, I don't want to do this all day. It would be better off retrying at full health, where he might have a way to win. I think what we do here is we wait until, assumedly, if Midir gets a level up or a better bow, I think once he's got 10 strength, maybe a bit more speed. I don't know what the speed of the enemy is again. That's part of the mystery. But if he could double, or especially if he could double and kill that guy in 4 hits rather than 5 hits, I think he'd have a decent chance. But the enemy goes first, which means she's got more speed than us. And that means we need at least a couple points of speed, probably a fair bit of speed. I have a feeling we're going to be hard blocked at level 4 there as well. That just leaves 2 characters. We'll see how far they can get. Probably everyone's just going to get stuck at level 4. That's going to be the story of my life. But I don't even know how Azel will do mage versus, like, because he's got so low defense. I'm not really sure how a mage will do down here. But enemies tend to have low resistance, so I mean, he's got that going for him. And then we're really going to send our healer in here, I guess. Because why not? It's looking pretty good for this fight. Oh, we even double. Okay, easy peasy. Looks like if we can win one more, Azel will get a level up at least. And I mean, it's no big deal. Like, I don't think we need to grind out all of these arena battles necessarily, but seeing as the game gives them to us, it's nice to see how far we can get. It's a good thing we got that magic up, or we could not have 2-rounded that guy. Although we might have been doing a pursuit double. There's a little bit of speed and luck. That's probably okay. He definitely needs some speed. And I'm assuming that round 4 is where he gets bodied again, like everyone. This is a Myrmidon. There's just no way. It's just too good. And we can't double him. We need 3 hits. So the enemy's got 84, and I bet you he gets pursuit on us. Yeah, there's just no way. No one can beat that thing. He's too strong. So basically everyone except promoted units are going to be getting to level 4. Alright. And I mean, Ethlyn. I mean, this is another question. I don't actually know if she'll be able to take very much, because she's not really a fighter. But to be fair, the Slim Sword's pretty strong, so she's got that going for her. I'm sure she'll beat this guy, right? Like, this is fine. Maybe she'll be our best arena fighter after all, because she'll fast. She's so fast. Does she have any combat skills? I think she's got critical or so. Yeah, there it is. Actually, there's one other thing we could do to get past the Myrmidon that I hadn't really plotted out. Speed, defense, that's okay. Characters that have the miracle skill, and I believe I have 1 or 2. Technically, they have a method of increasing their avoid mid-arena. If you can damage them and heal them to the right point. So we should look at that before we give up on a couple characters. I think, is it Finn that has Miracle? And I think Ethlyn, so. The trick will be getting them in the correct HP amount that they can be dropped down to like 2 or 3 HP without dying. And then at that point have enough avoid to be immune to basically anything. I'm not sure if she's going to be strong enough to win this fight, because she's only got a sword, and she does pretty low damage. So he's going to do 15 damage. So for instance, if she had 31 HP, the crits help. She could have won that with luck, but she did not win. With a... Oh, you went and lost. That wound ain't pretty. But yeah, with a little bit more HP or 1 more point of defense, she would have been dropped down to miracle range. But unfortunately, if you enter at 1 HP, you do not get miracle effects. So now she would have to hit him and avoid a lot of hits in a row. So I don't think she has any chance to win at 1 HP. Yeah. I think she had a chance at full HP, but it's tricky. So, okay, that's everybody. So all we're looking at now is people who have Miracle. Oh, she doesn't even have Miracle. Never mind. I'm thinking of somebody else, I guess. So who actually has Miracle? I think it's not Alec or Noishe. Did I send Arden in? I forgot to send Arden in. We have to do Arden still. Alright. Don't worry, Arden's going. He can beat the axe guy. I'm just gonna speed through. We've spent so long doing arena now, it's time to start skipping a little bit. I don't know if he can beat this guy either. This might be pretty slow. Alright, technically we won. Oops, I should have saved or not done this fight probably. There's no way. Well, he's got enough defense to tank it. He's had 2 lucky 58 hits. 3 lucky 58 hits. Are you kidding me, Arden? I think statistically he should lose on average. 91 should almost always hit. Even at only 7 damage, he probably should have died eventually and missed enough to lose. But I'd say he still had half-decent odds. A good level up for our Arden boy, though. That's a lot of stats for so low growths. So does that mean that Arden will be the first non-paladin to defeat the Myrmidon? There's no way, right? He actually has enough defense to tank it out for quite a while. But, I mean, come on. He's got no real chance here. He would need to hit 4 times. And, well... He's only hit once so far. Yeah, nobody can beat the Myrmidon. He's too strong. Okay, so that's everyone. Now we've actually tested everyone out. But someone has Miracle. Miracle is a fancy skill that we might be able to manipulate into a win here. I maybe only have one person with Miracle right now. It's Finn, right? Yeah, Miracle is the fancy star. So if we can set him up to take a hit on the Myrmidon and be dropped down to like low HP, like 1 or 2, then I think he could still beat him. If he's the only one with Miracle, though, then that's just him, and no one else needs to be considered. Knee heal's not going to help. Alright, so then let's do a little bit more science before we end our episode. Let's look at Finn. So, before I do the math, I need to see how much damage this guy actually deals. So, we take 13 damage per hit. Technically, at 8 HP, we get some Miracle. I think we get 30%. I think it's 10% for every point below 12. Or no, every point below 11. So at 10 HP, you get 10% off. 9 HP, you get 20% off. 8 HP, you get 30% off. All the way down to 1 HP, where you get 100% off your avoid. Or 100% addition to your avoid, or your enemy's hit rate decreased. So, the enemy was doing 13 damage, which, depending on how much... Okay, the star was for staff. Depending on how much this heals, it might work. If it heals like 15, this is not guaranteed, but I figured this might be worth a try. Because he'll take 1 hit, drop him down to 3. That should give him a lot of avoid. Maybe 70% avoid? Or no, 3 will be 80% avoid. If this drops him to 3, I think he'll be invincible. Because the enemy does not have 100% hit. If I did the math right, this might work. Yeah, 61 hit. As soon as he takes a hit here, he should be fine. Although, now we're dodging. Oh, he only went down to 6. Well, okay. He just got... It wasn't actually a miracle that worked there. He just got really lucky on his rounds of combat. And managed to hit consistently and dodge consistently. So that didn't actually work the way I was planning it, but okay. Can he go further then? That's the next question. Not at advantage with Axe Guy, but we'll see. By the same token, if he gets dropped down into miracle range, once again... No, he gets 2-shot here. 80%. So if we can drop him... Again, how much damage was... Sorry. How much damage were we taking? I just want to see if there's any way to set this up. We're taking 23 damage. So we need our HP to get to 24 optimally. So I think if we stay in the castle, he regenerates 5 per turn. Although I think he pays a little bit of money for it. So theoretically, what we could do is regen 5. That puts him at 6. Heal him. The healing was how much? Do you guys remember how much we healed there? I know I already used our turn. I think the healing was like 15 or 16. If we can manipulate it to get him to like 24 or 25 HP, then he can win another round. Otherwise, there's not much we can do. I guess it's worth a shot. Anyway, we're going to end our episode here. I know we already sort of wasted Ethlyn's turn. It might have been better strategically to get her on the field because, you know, next episode we're going to go fight some axe guys, and we probably want some healing. So I may have already messed up the chapter a little bit, but it's fine. So, sorry that we didn't make any real progress today, but we've done most of the arenaing, and we've learned all about castling. So next episode we'll get to the actual deployment. And I'll still try to get Finn another arena level, because I think I can do it. I think with anyone with Miracle, with a little bit of setup, you should always be able to win another round. Assuming you can manipulate the math in your favor. It might take more turns, but I'm also not too worried about the turn counter. So getting that extra money and XP is probably worth it. Probably. Anyway, that's all for today, I guess. I still need to decide in between episodes maybe if I want to do any more Armory shopping. There's no one that really needs that stuff right now, so I'm probably good. The only thing I'm thinking about is, like, trading some weapons, but I probably won't do that right now. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for hanging in there and having some fun arena. Next episode, we will get to work on Chapter 1. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.